What's going on, Deadites? How you guys doing today? It's your boy Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Last night, I did In the Crease with Tommy C, and about 10 minutes before I went on, I started throwing up again for no reason. I blew out all the capillaries in my face as I tried to actually vomit my face from my body, apparently. So, I was informed by my wife that there's no way I should go on camera right now because I look like a burn victim. It's not a good situation. I know I'm not much to look at usually anyway, but still, I felt it would be a little bit pushing of it to go on camera now. So that also means there will probably be no Creators Corner this week, simply because doing an interview and looking like this is not a great idea. So I want to wait until I'm 100% to get back onto the horse. But never fear, Creators Corner is coming back. I have a lineup of about 6 people that I need to interview. I apologize to everyone that I have not gotten to. Graham, Isaac, Alex, Jacinda's mom. Jesse. There's a whole bunch of people that I need to interview, and I have yet to be able to do it. And I apologize for that. But once I get better, 100%, I should say, things should start moving in that direction once again. So, all right. Today, of course, it is your daily focus right here on Dead on Dave Productions, which means on a Thursday, that is your NXT review. So, let's get right into it. Look, I look forward to NXT almost more than anything else every single week. I have a lot of fun watching it. It's so well done. It's the best hour of wrestling, bar none. Now, before I watched it, I decided I was going to take a chance, take another attempt at watching Lucha Underground. And I watched as much as I could tolerate, but intergender matches, they're not for me. They're just not. And especially just ridiculous intergender matches are even more ridiculous. People are going to get on me for criticizing Alberto Del Rio again, but anyone else notice he's having to wrestle in a shirt now? And when he takes off the shirt, you can see why. He does not seem to have that same physique he had in WWE. Now, granted, he is getting older and all of that stuff comes into play, but I just find it weird. He leaves WWE and his standards look like, at least for physical standpoint, have seemed to have lowered. Now, you guys could say, oh, I'm just being a dick. But no, it is something to think about. When you get older and you start letting yourself go. I'm not saying Alberto Del Rio was ever an Adonis when it came to a physique anyway. But he's noticeably heavier. I think noticeably heavier. There were some interesting backstage segments, but really, it just I was not captivated by the show. I tried to get into it because I wanted to review it because I feel like maybe I was a little unfair. Maybe I'm just being a little unfair towards Lucha. So I'm trying. And if a product just is not fun for me on any level, then I just can't do it. So I'm hoping now that maybe people won't be so angry towards the reason why I'm not watching Lucha and just kind of get a better understanding as to why. And it's just not having fun. But it is what it is. To each their own. No, I am not telling anyone not to watch Lucha. Watch Lucha. I watch everything right now except Lucha. I'm watching New Japan, having a lot of fun watching that. I'm watching TNA, even though that's about to stop as well because, Ring of Honor, because interesting things are going on. But it is what it is. I'm watching a lot of German wrestling right now. WXW. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm checking out. And I'm just not feeling the Lucha product. But maybe I'm just a hateful ass. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to NXT because that is what we're here to talk about. All right, this was a loaded show. Man, what an hour. It was absolutely loaded. There was so much content into this hour. I took so many notes because there was so much going on. And all of it was engrossing. There was a little bit of disappointment. One noticeable big disappointment, and I will get to that. But plenty of notes to get to. In fact, one would say they are copious. So let's get into it, shall we? The show starts off with the package of Kevin Owens winning the title and subsequently attacking Alex Riley last week. Which is kind of cool. I like this whole storyline between those two, by the way. It kind of slows down the championship progression, with him having to defend and everything. It's kind of a detour. And it's a cool way to get Alex Riley back into the ring, which, let's face it, the guy can friggin' go. And he's very talented on the announcer's booth as well. So Riley goes to Regal's office asking for a match, begging for a match with Kevin Owens. But Regal says he has to step down from announcing to do so because you cannot do both. I really enjoyed the back and forth between Regal and Riley, and because Regal did something very similar when he was on the announce booth with Cesaro, and Riley goes, "Well, look, it's not the exact same thing because you're old and I'm not. I'm in the prime of my career." He doesn't say it in those terms, but you know what I mean. So it was a cool opening segment. It kind of sets the tone for what we're going to get for the rest of the show. So that was fun. Surprisingly, to open the show is Adam Rose back in NXT. And not just Adam Rose, but full-on face Adam Rose. With the rosebuds and everything, the trust fall. They do the whole shebang. And let me tell you, this is weird. The crowd was absolutely loving him. Loving him. Just like they were before he left. Rose is super, super over. I mean, just super over down in NXT. And it just kind of goes to show you that just because you are that over in NXT does not mean that it's going to work in WWE, because Adam Rose has been an unmitigated disaster up in WWE. He just has. It has not worked. And here's the thing. He worked the exact same type of match down here than you would see him in WWE, but it worked down here in NXT. It really did. Him and Tyler Breeze. Not much happened. A lot of comedy, a lot of feints and funny stuff, and then Tyler Breeze hits a beauty shot out of nowhere and wins the match relatively easily. But here's the thing. The crowd was digging it. The crowd was digging the strange comedy, the interactions with the rosebuds, the stick, the selfie stick being used as a fencing sword. I mean, like, everything. It was just over with this crowd. And this is a smarter crowd. This is a smart crowd, one would say. And yet they bought into Adam Rose. So why isn't it working in WWE? It's not because of the gimmick. It's not because of it could be because of the gimmick over in WWE, but in NXT, the gimmick is not hindering him. The ring work is not hindering him because he hardly did anything in this match, yet it still worked and it was super over. So it begs the question, why isn't Adam Rose working? When Adam Rose is allowed to go, we know this guy can friggin' put on a show. He's a great worker. So that's the first question for today, guys. Why do you think Adam Rose is not getting over up at WWE? And should he stay off of WWE programming for a while and be repackaged? What do you think is the best way to handle that? At this time, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take a second and like, subscribe, and share. If you have yet to do so, hit the like button, subscribe. Only takes a second. Go ahead and help out the channel there with the numbers, because remember, when we get to that 500 subscriber mark, which we are very close to, by the way, I will be doing a big giveaway of unboxing things. We did another unboxing yesterday, the arcade block Zelda box. If you have not watched it yet, it's fantastical. It's really good. The box is great. Alicia and I had a great time. So make sure you check that out. And remember, we are taking items from every single one of those unboxings and putting them aside to give away to you once we get to the 500 subscriber mark, to one lucky subscriber. So get us a little closer to that, and I think you guys will enjoy what happens. That also being said, I want to start putting my videos, the full videos, onto my Facebook page. Here's the thing. Most of you who are subscribed here are not a part of the Facebook community for Dead on Dave Productions. The Facebook page is right there at the bottom of the background, as you can see in the lower right-hand corner, facebook.com/This Guy's Take on It. Very easy to find. Make sure you like that page and get involved there. And if I get more than 100, 150, I'll start putting the videos there. And it's a little bit easier to watch. And I'll start adding extra content once it seems like it's a viable place to do so. So maybe you'll see videos there that you can't see here. So that gives you every reason to go ahead and like both and help the Facebook page grow a little bit. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, make sure you do that as well. Make sure you do that as well because I tweet about all kinds of different things throughout the day. You never know who I'm going to... have been in the midst of a feud with a punk rock star. I say in finger quotes and inflection because I think that's questionable. So you never know what's going to happen with the Dead on Dave Productions thing. You never know what's going to happen with me. I'm quite crazy. So anyway, back to NXT. Thank you guys for sitting through my shameless plug. Breeze wins the match with the beauty shot. So why do you think Adam Rose is not getting over? Put that in the comment section below. Next, Big Cass and Enzo Amore in a backstage promo. Funny as hell. God, I love these guys. There's something about them that just works, and you can't teach that. I don't know what it is. These guys are just, they have me. They are like New Age Outlaws to me in a lot of ways. They are just like the New Age Outlaws in many, many, many ways. And I think they both could be something big, even in singles action. Enzo Amore is a top-flight talker. The guy can just yammer. He can go. Carmella has got that perfect beauty that WWE likes. I think she can get over because of it. She's got the look, and she could wrestle a little bit too. And Big Cass, who I think is going to be the breakout star of this group, because I'm sure he reminds a lot of people of Test. He reminds me of Test quite a bit. I think Test might have had an inch or two on him, and maybe a little bit in the athleticism department, but not by much. Cass is young. He's a really, really good guy. I like this dude. When he gets aggressive, he's an absolute monster in the ring. So it's kind of fun to watch these guys talk in the back as well as perform in the ring. So hopefully they're going to get bigger, and I think they're going to be the next NXT Tag Team Champions. Another backstage promo, Alexis with stating she is going to be gunning for Sasha Banks no matter what. So tonight the main event was Sasha Banks and Charlotte, and regardless of what happened, they set up Alexis being a new contender for the title, whoever were to win the championship match. So I like that because it's a subtle way of booking things, putting somebody in the spotlight. I think that's kind of cool, something you don't see all the time. So that was a really neat way of doing it. Back to the action there. Blake and Murphy versus Sawyer and Dawkins. I have not seen these guys yet. I don't really know who they were. Here's the thing. All four of these guys who were in this ring could go. Sawyer and Dawkins both have a lot of ability, natural ability that I enjoyed watching, especially Dawkins. This guy is a big young brother who can move, man. He can move. He's really, really big, like deceptively big. Because the way he moves like a Shelton Benjamin. And then when you start looking at him, you realize how big he is. This dude could be something. Neither one of these two, Sawyer and Dawkins, were in fantastic shape. And, of course, they were wearing singlets. But that's part of the beauty of NXT is we see guys in different stages of development. And that's really cool to see. And that's the uniqueness and the beauty of NXT. Yet all four of these guys are able to work. Blake and Murphy are reminding me more and more of the Rockers every time I see them go. I still don't like the leapfrog entrance that they do. I think it's weird and stupid, but I like these guys in the ring. They are the Rockers. They got very Midnight Express-ness about them, very Rocker-esque. I like them a lot and think they could be a hell of a tag team. I hope they stay together because they could be a top-flight NXT and WWE Tag Team Champion. I think there's no question about that. I like this tag team. One of them, Blake or Murphy, hits a frog splash from 3/4 of the ring away. Impressive. And he hit it well, too. 3/4 of the ring away. It did not look like he was placed there on purpose, but I think it was Blake. He just said, screw it, and went for it anyway, and he nailed it. It was really cool. All 4 of those guys worked a very nice, crisp, albeit short, match that was very entertaining. Bayley and Charlotte backstage in a promo. Bayley trying to make nice with Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, I'm going to go take care of business, and just kind of blows Bayley off. Emma comes out of nowhere and kind of gives her this nice girls finish last type of speech. And it makes a lot of sense because Emma, she talks about her failures in WWE. I like that they are addressing that and kind of changing Emma to a darker character. Bayley, who is in a lot of ways what Emma was even when Emma was still there, but certainly after she left, Bayley is kind of this hokey little bit of a gimmick, and I like that Emma's trying to convince her that this is not the way. Now, whether or not they're going to team these two up and they're going to be like new bad girls with a darker image, or Bayley and Emma are going to become rivals, I don't think it really matters. I think that either way it could work to help get both of these beautiful and talented women wrestlers over even more than they already are down at NXT, and hopefully propelling them to greater heights within WWE. That's the point of all this. That's the intent of NXT and all of these promos and things that they do. It's to help elevate them. That is what NXT is about: elevation, ascension, evolution. It's wonderful. It's great to watch. Okay, so then there's a promo for WrestleMania. Is anybody else feeling that this is the worst ever WrestleMania song in the history of the event? Getting gone. Woo! Stupid. Oh my God. You can thank the temperament ego. It's so bad. Oh my God. I want to just stab myself in the eye with a hot poker that's been rusting in a friggin' pig's mud wallow. I don't even know what I was trying to say anymore. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, make sure you guys stay to the end of this video. There's a special extra video that I'll be putting on. For those of you who have been longtime fans of the channel, there's a special guest. You're going to get a minute and some change of a very special guest at the end of this video. Make sure you are staying tuned for that, okay? Yeah, teasing. Terrible song, though. Back to that. Terrible song. I hate it. Why are they using this song? What do you guys think? What is the worst WrestleMania song of all time if it's not this getting gone bullshit? You tell me what it is, because I have no... It's terrible. I kind of that I'm Coming Home song from a couple years ago was kind of... I'm coming home, tell the world. That was annoying too, but that song got really popular and catchy. But this is terrible. I hate this song. Back to the action. Baron Corbin versus Tony Briggs. Another tubby dude in a singlet. But again, I really enjoy how we see wrestlers in different stages of their development. Tony Briggs looks like he could become something down the line. But then again, none of these guys would be in NXT if they didn't possess something that made WWE officials think that there's something there. So that's kind of cool. Owens comes out during the middle of this match and just stands behind Riley. And Riley's trying not to acknowledge him. And Albert's trying to tell him to calm down and all this stuff. While in the ring, Corbin wins a quick little match with the End of Days. Match over. After it, Owens takes Riley's water, takes a drink, and then dumps the contents over Riley's head. Riley explodes like a madman, gets right in the champion's face, and Albert grabs a hold of him and tries to hold him back. Very awkward because Riley looked genuinely pissed, almost like he didn't know he was about to get water dumped on his head, to be completely honest. It looked very real and very convincing, and it was pretty cool. Right after that, no physicality, by the way. Owens just being this really calm, cool, and collected guy. Owens has all of the presence of a very, very seasoned WWE champion. Now, we know Owens is seasoned. We get that. But he has a championship aura about him. Even when he's not directly using the belt to show his championship ness, I guess, he is directly always having that radiation of championship about him. I like that. It's very cool. It's rare. It's very rare. So next up is Sami Zayn with a nice little promo about perspective and about how he went back to his home there in Quebec, I believe. Was it Quebec or Montreal? I can't remember where he's from. But he's like, I'm on the streets of Quebec or Montreal, wherever he's from. I forgot. I'm sorry, Zaniacs. I apologize for that. But when he's not screaming and he's just talking and he doesn't start screeching, Zayn can deliver a good promo. Someone's got to sit him down and talk to him about that because he can talk when he just talks. It's kind of like the same thing with Reigns. When Reigns doesn't try to be the guy, he works really well. It's strange. After that, Riley storms into Regal's office, quits his announcer job, and says he wants Owens now. Regal says, no, you can't have Owens quite yet. You got to prove yourself that you got to prove to me that you are ready to take on a guy the quality of Kevin Owens. CJ Parker is also in the room, and of course, being the instigator that CJ Parker is, gets a Rise face, and Riley says, well, I'm starting next week, and I'm kicking your ass, CJ Parker. So next week, we will see Alex Riley and CJ Parker in Alex Riley's first match in quite a long time. All right, I said earlier that there was a part of the show that I was not digging, and this might surprise a lot of people who know this guy and have been really anticipating his in-ring debut and all of that. But Solomon Crowe and Bull Dempsey starts up. And I don't know really how to say this other than just saying it. This was not a good match. Crowe was really sloppy. And I'm not sure whose fault it was. I mean, I'm not a big Bull Dempsey guy. I'm going to lean towards this. A lot of this was Bull Dempsey's fault. But it also seemed like Crowe was very unsure of a lot of things that he was doing. The crowd didn't seem to care too much about this match, but that could be because nobody cares about Bull Dempsey. Bull Dempsey's ring position seemed off at least 4 or 5 times throughout this match. It was very weird. It's like they did not prep at all, and I'm sure they got an earful later on. Solomon Crowe is, everyone's very excited about him being in NXT. He has got to perform better than this. He already has a little bit against him because of his strange look. Now, he can have this strange look, but he's also a kind of short and compact type guy. He reminds me body-wise of Taz quite a bit. And sometimes that's not the easiest physique to work with at the upper levels, and that's why you don't see a lot of these guys. Chris Benoit was able to kind of break away from that because his body type, especially later on in his career, resembled that as well. But when you're talking about Chris Benoit, aside from being a murderer later on in his life, of course, you're talking about a very, very special talent in the ring that you only see once a generation if you're lucky. And I don't know if Crowe is that. He's very unorthodox, very strange, and it's only going to work with certain type of wrestlers. I don't know if putting him up against a guy like Bull Dempsey, who is even in worse shape physically than Solomon Crowe, is a very good idea. So what is your opinion of this match? What do you guys think of this match? Am I judging it too harshly, or did you see the same things I am? And if so, what did you see that maybe I didn't? Why did this match not work? Whose fault do you think it was? Put it in the comment section below. The main event of the evening, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks for the title. Before the match even got going, it just felt like a big match, like a WrestleMania main event type match. That's how it felt to me. I don't know why. Charlotte exudes this aura of just awesomeness. And Sasha, she has grown on me so big. For one, I think she's smoking. She's so bitchy and like just something really sexy about her. And I think they're both going to work in the WWE level, but for different reasons. Sasha Banks, who's very good in the ring, she's scrappy. Good. She's not like the most technically proficient person in the ring. She's not Charlotte in that respect, but her psychology is so good, and her ability to be scrappy and just kind of mean, and then kind of also do the things that you like to see out of a top flight heel, propels her to that same level as Charlotte. It's kind of funny how you see people getting to the top in NXT by taking all these different directions to the top of their game. It's kind of cool. It's something you don't get to see all the time. This match was different than their previous matches. Now, I've seen technical masterpieces out of these two. We have seen it. We've seen slugfests. We've seen all kinds of different matches from these two because they have fought a lot. This match felt different. It was just aggressive. Some people might look at it that it was a little sloppy, but I don't think it was. I think it was just sheer aggression. It reminded me of a early 1990s Cactus Jack and Vader match. Now, that might seem like an odd comparison, but if you go watch one particular match that is in my mind, a Saturday night main event match between Cactus Jack and Vader, and you watch some of the things that they do to elicit a crowd. Now, elicit a reaction from the crowd, I should say. Now, granted, that match went more extreme, of course, and there was blood and everything. But this match felt a lot like that with the dynamic of the two wrestlers involved. And the match is so good that as it progresses, you forget that you're watching women. And that's something that you don't see. It felt... A lot of people are making a comparison. I think that it's a fair one. Their dynamic that these two have is Lita and Trish-esque. Like, they can bring out something in each other. These two could headline, for the women's division, a WrestleMania. They could be the top women's draw at WrestleMania this year. That's how good they are. And what they would do would be so much more entertaining than what we're seeing anywhere in the Divas division right now. That includes the top with even the addition of AJ. I really hope that they try, maybe somebody comes up with the idea of putting them into WrestleMania a little, or I would just like to see it. I know it's not going to happen. I know they're going to start their build in WWE a little bit later after WrestleMania dies down and all that. I get that. But God, I want to see them this year. Wrestling each other on the pre-show, something. Because, that's the least amount of risk. Everyone's talking about having NXT represented on WrestleMania, like in a ladder match or a battle royal. But there's a lot of risk involved there because whoever's in those matches are going to get a first look and with a very different crowd than you're ever going to see again until next year's WrestleMania. Or another big pay-per-view. So it might not be the best time to introduce new stars and then just take them away. However, if you go on the pre-show and you want to have one representation of NXT, it might be the best to go with a women's championship match, and definitely involve at the very least Charlotte and Sasha. Maybe one other person. Maybe you add in Bayley or Emma or Becky or somebody, or just have them go by themselves again. That would be something I think would work, and there's very little risk involved. Very little risk. I think it would open a lot of people's eyes if you give them 15 minutes on the pre-show. Give them 15 minutes and say, girls, go tear it down. See what they could do. There's so little risk, it just makes sense. So anyway, back to the match. Very good match. Impressive. I was impressed with both of them because I feel that they both advanced a level in ring psychology and just how to work a crowd. The chants were awesome. The action was consistent. There were some brutal maneuvers in there. Charlotte showing her athleticism over and over again. And then, of course, because this feud cannot be over yet, Sasha Banks wins with her feet on the ropes, taking the easy way out. So I like that because it's a victory for Sasha, and it is Charlotte's title match, return match or whatever, her contract, rematch clause. There we go. And so that could keep her out of the title picture for a little bit. I don't see it being very long because of the way Sasha won. So Charlotte's going to still have a beef there. And we should see these two again very soon, unless one of them is coming up to the main roster, which I don't see it happening yet because of the set in stone situation that the Divas are going through, building to WrestleMania. I loved this card. I loved the entire card. Even the problem with Solomon Crowe didn't take away from all of the great stuff that happened for me. I'll give it about a 7.5. 7.5 and 8. I feel the Solomon Crowe thing. Now, I know what I just said, but it took away a little bit as far as an over. So you can't give it a higher rating. But 7.5, very entertaining. It's a very packed hour of wrestling. It felt longer because so much was happening. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Tell me what you guys think. I don't think it was better than Raw this week. I think Raw was a little bit better for me. I had a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to watching SmackDown after reading the spoilers. It seems like a very interesting episode of SmackDown, so I hope you guys are going to be checking that out as well. A lot of good content on the network. I hate to shill the network here, but I got to be honest. I'm seeing a lot of the things that are being put out this week. The Countdown's back and all of that, and the destruction of the Shield, the Booker T thing, the 24/7 Booker T thing. If you haven't watched that, that's a really good piece as well. They're doing good things on a lot of different people. So check all that stuff out. One final note in the wrestling world. Everybody can finally stop. You can stop. It's been confirmed. Renee Young is indeed dating Dean Ambrose. She's admitted to it. They are very much in love. They're not just friends with benefits. They are lovers in the night. Exchanging glances, I'm messing up all the words, and that's okay. But yeah, so there you go. They are together. So for those of you, Terry, who are Dean Ambrose obsessed, shall we say, you're going to have to go through Renee. And those of you out there who love your Renee Young, you're going to have to go through the lunatic fringe to get yourself some of Renee. So I said earlier that there was going to be a little bit of special thing going on at the end of the show, and there's a black screen here, but I apologize for that. There is going to be a little special thing going on. If I can get my damn thing to work, which is not working. So a special guest, someone that you all know and love, someone that people have been asking to see more of. So here you go to finish out tonight's show. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And as you do, enjoy the wonders that is the Turtle. Of course, fucking course. Oh, there's me cussing. There's me cussing in the background. But look at that turtle. Look at her. And there you go. There is your minute of turtle awesomeness. Like, subscribe, and share. We will see you next time. Peace.